Australia's Minister of Education, Christopher Pyne, was speaking exclusively to our news team while he was attending the 8th Asean Education Ministers Meeting held in Vientiane. He said it is timely that we reflect on Australia's partnership with ASEAN as we reach the milestone this month of 40 years of bilateral relations. Our news team, Souksavanh Keodaboth, has the details. Australia's Minister of Education, Christopher Pyne, was among delegates attending the 8th ASED in Vientiane. Speaking to our news team, Christopher Pyne highlighted excellent relationship in terms of education between Laos and Australia.
Well, I was very pleased to meet the Deputy Prime Minister of Laos PDR this afternoon to talk about the excellent relationship that already exists between Australia and Laos PDR around education. Australia has been a strong supporter of expanding the capacity of the Laos education system, putting funds into basic education, but also vocational education and training. And I felt that the Deputy Prime Minister and I made a real connection around that strong foundation that already exists.
According to Australia's Minister of Education, Christopher Pyne, the Australian government has launched the new Colombo Plan to support young Australians to study and undertake internships in the region.
Australia takes our relationship with the Laos PDR very seriously. Laos has been a great supporter of Australia in the Asian region, and we want to continue that strength. Laos PDR is taking part in the new Colombo Plan from next year, which will bring Australian students to Vientiane to study here. And of course we have a very mature scholarships program with Laos already, bringing Laos residents, Laotians, to Australia for young Laotians. We know that there's a great need for technical skills in the Laos PDR, and we think Australia can make a big contribution to furthering education around practical skills and occupations.
ASEAN is one of the most diverse, fast-moving and competitive regions in the world.
The recent report by the World Bank unveiled that the 10 nations of ASEAN have the potential for strong economic growth that will dramatically lift living standards across Southeast Asia.
127 of the world's companies with more than $1 billion in revenues.
Australia is willing and able to be a part in the economic agenda for this region and to increase the existing deep economic engagement that has already been seen two-way trade increase from 45 billion Australian dollars to 92 billion Australian dollars between Australia and ASEAN over the past decade.
The EU, the USA and China.
The new Australian government has adopted a policy of economic diplomacy as a key platform of our foreign policy to ensure we unlock the productivity-enhancing benefits of closer trade and investment ties in our region. Just as traditional diplomacy aims for peace, economic diplomacy aims for prosperity.
Encompassing 10 member states, ASEAN is one of the most diverse, fast-moving and competitive regions in the world.